Hello everyone, what's everybody doing in my Pokemon form? And today we'll be doing part 3 of my reaction to Scream Inside the Story. So if you guys missed part 2, go watch it before you watch this one, but this will be part 3. So I hope you like it. If you do, please go put thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and let's get started.
Miramax Films had already blazed a Hollywood trail with a string of Oscar-winning films, such as Pulp Fiction, The English Patient, and Sling Blade. As luck would have it, Bob Weinstein had recently begun a new upstart division that would focus solely on genre fare. He called his sister company, which had already acquired the rights to the Hellraiser and Halloween franchises, Dimension Films.
I told the people that were working for me the kind of movie that I was looking for, something that would be different than just the rest. And I had an assistant named Richard Potter. And I remember one day calling me up and says, I think I just read the script that you described.
I called him and I said, Bob, I just read a script. If you don't want to make this movie, then I don't know what you're looking for. So he laughed and said, well, I guess I better read it then.
And I read it and I loved it and I bid for it.
But with other major suitors such as Paramount, Universal, and Morgan Creek already circling the script, Dimension Films knew they had to get in the game fast. As the days went on, a bidding war drove the script's price higher and higher, and as the stakes rose, previously interested parties dropped out until only 2 players were left standing.
The 2 production entities that emerged as the most competitive were Kerry Woods and Kathy Conrad on one side, and Dan Halstead and Oliver Stone on the other side.
Surprisingly, the writer and director of high-profile films such as Platoon, Wall Street, and JFK had also decided he wanted to scoop up the hottest spec script in town. But it happened to be at a time when Williamson got the call he was waiting for.
The next morning, it was like 9 o'clock in the morning, we got a call from Miramax. It's saying, okay, Bob read it, he loved it, he wants to buy it. How much?
How much would become an important question when it came time to decide which buyer would ultimately make Scary Movie.
There is a bidding war. That when our offer comes in, it is not as high as some of the other offers.
And the decision to accept one of those offers could only come from Kevin Williamson.
Bob understood it. Bob loved the genre. I mean, Halloween was one of his favorite movies. It was one of my favorite movies. We bonded instantly. He was like the Quentin Tarantino of like filmology when it comes to every reference and every character that ever was in a horror movie.
By acquiring the hottest spec script in town, Dimension Films solidified their future as a major player in the world of genre movies. It also changed Kevin Williamson's life forever, with an initial check for $400,000 and the start of a career which would make him the new voice of a generation.
Kevin really, really had his finger on the pulse of the modern American teenager.
I was swing by the video store. I was thinking Tom Cruise and all the right moves. You know, if you pause it just right, you can see his penis.
A lot of what Tatum said specifically, she brought a lot of the modern pop culture thing into it, and then obviously the Jamie Kennedy character, the Matthew Lillard character, the whole. It's a very savvy, funny, witty kid.
Dialogue in the Scream script was amazing. I mean, you read it, it just felt real or beyond real. You know, it felt like these kids were so smart, and the fact that that was written into the fact that they were aware of horror movies.
What movie of this really fit on your garage?
So much television. The Exorcist was on it.
What's that werewolf movie with P.T.'s mom in it?
The Howling, horror straight in it.
Having officially made his entrance as a legitimate Hollywood player, everyone was buzzing about the hottest new screenwriter in town. A man who had found a niche that had been missing from the cinematic landscape for over a decade. A movie about teenagers and high school life that felt real, timely, and generation-specific.
He took the John Hughes formula and the slasher formula and made it feel modern and contemporary.
And the film itself definitely was sort of hip and focused towards a younger generation.
Definitely felt like a John Hughes movie on the hill.
Those kids in the John Hughes movies felt like modern, contemporary kids.
Nothing could shock me anymore. Last night at the dance, my little brother paid a buck to see your underwear.
Jeez.
As if.
Come on, Sporto. Level with me. You slip her the hot beef injection.
I want to see Jamie Lee's breast. When do we see going on, and I think that's what made the script so appealing.
But she realizes that teen suicide is up this year, and homicide is a much healthier therapeutic expression. Where do you get this? You are pathetic.
Kevin is the only one who can do that dialogue, and you believe it.
Kevin really, really thought through everything. He really understood the structure and mythology of slasher films and red herring movies and just applied the John Hughes modern teenager to it.
With a fresh take on an old genre, Dimension Films was ready to find a director for their horror hybrid. However, it began to seem as if Scary Movie would never get made when nearly every bankable horror director in town said no.
Including the one who directed the whole movie.
Kevin Williamson's Scary Movie was a script that took Hollywood by storm, putting the hot young writer on the fast track to success. But the production faced a major hurdle, finding a director who could successfully blend the satirical elements of the screenplay with spine-tingling horror.
And the first person that came into our minds was Wes Craven. And when you think about the first Nightmare on Elm Street, if that's the only movie you watch, you see that this guy can scare you.
Last was the best there is. So I figured if we're going to make our first Dimension movie, why not go with the best?
He was not interested in doing this, which was a huge disappointment.
I passed, and I passed for quite a while. I know they had approached George Romero and Sam Raimi, and kind of like the staples of the horror world.
There's always another list of directors, but you'd stare at that list and start crying.
I feel like we were kind of dragging our feet to a certain extent because we really wanted to get Wes to do it.
Wes wanted to do other things, and it was a conversation as to whether or not he would go back and do horror.
I just didn't want to do, quote, another slasher movie.
With the talent pool shrinking fast, the studio behind the project, Dimension Films, continued to hope that their director of choice would change his mind.
Wes Craven has influenced horror in the 70s with Last House on the Left, in the 80s with Nightmare on Elm Street. You cannot overstate how incredibly influential Wes Craven has been to the horror genre and has continually made movies for different generations that felt so contemporary.
Craven's previous work, at times critically lauded, often shocking, but always provocative, reached mainstream success with 1984's A Nightmare on Elm Street. In it, he created one of the most iconic figures in all of modern horror, Freddy Krueger.
Wes became horror meister Wes Craven, slasher director Wes Craven, and I became horror star, slasher star Robert Englund. And that gets attached to your name for a while.
Before long, Craven found himself firmly enmeshed in the world of horror movies, a place where he could use his talent at evoking blood-chilling terror to maximum effect.
I read an interview with Wes once somewhere where he said, within the realm of horror movies, you can do anything you want. You can explore any issue you want. You just have to have a jump out and grab you every 10 minutes.
I think people would imagine because of the films that he makes that he would be really twisted in some way. Of course he is in some way. But he's also just a really lovely energy, really wonderful, really calm, a great director, a great leader, and people love to work with him.
When you meet Wes, it's pretty shocking because you expect someone who's like a little creepier, and he's so intelligent.
Rest in peace, by the way, Wes Craven.
Kind, because you're like, wow, what's going on behind those sweet eyes that has such darkness and crazy.
It was Craven's ability to take audiences to the dark side that kept him in the minds of Dimension executives, even though he had passed on the project more than once.
I think the reason that I passed on it was my usual stupidity. I have this long career-long ambivalence towards doing genre films, and I don't want to sound like prissy, but there is an element to the genre that is can be said to be misogynistic, for instance, and always carving up girls. And there's a part of me that feels like, how much longer do you want to do this?
The answer came after a certain young movie star showed interest in the project, a move which enticed Craven to seriously reconsider dipping his toe back into the bloody waters that made him famous.
There was Bob that came to me and said, and I've got Drew Barrymore likes it.
Getting Drew Barrymore in Scream was a huge deal.
While Drew was obviously famous at the time, and a star at the time, she had not yet become the megastar that she is now.
Despite the attachment of Barrymore, Craven was still not so quick to dismiss his initial concerns.
I think it was actually the opening section in the writing. Just the sort of tormenting of a girl for 15 minutes and then having her killed and disemboweled. And I just said, well, do I want to do this again? What's this going to do to my karma?
In the end, it was the words of a young fan that solved the director's moral dilemma.
A little kid, I think 12 years old, somewhere around there, coming to me and saying, you should do a real movie again because you've been doing your movies.
Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. If you guys like this video, give this video a big thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, turn post notifications, and leave a comment. Subscribe to each channel is my side thing, and yeah. Guys, again, I'm almost close to 500 subscribers. 500 subscribers. That's a lot. If I reach a goal, I really appreciate it. Because again, this video was my goal, reach 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 people watching. So if I reach a goal, I really appreciate it. Because again, these videos are possible to you guys. And I love you guys so much for all your support. Like I always say, and I always mean. And yeah. Also, if you guys want to watch this, it was made by Sam Fly, like I said. And I'll put the link to his original video down in the description. But yeah. Alright guys, there you go. Thanks for watching. Please like this video, leave a comment, subscribe for more, and I'll catch you guys for tomorrow for part 4 of my reaction to Scream: The Inside Story. Alright guys, there you go. Goodbye, and have a good day or night.